Okay, vitals seem okay. Machine's been off for about an hour now, so I think we'll be okay. I'm just gonna release the clamps from the eyes now.
Uh, what's happening?
Okay, E3's over. It's time to unplug you from...
There's a world outside of E3.
There is a world outside of E3. It's not just video game responses.
It's... All I've seen for a week is video games.
Yes.
It's just video games.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Welcome back to the real world.
It's so bright and... it looks weird.
It does. The frame rate's much higher than you might be used to.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, the resolution. Oh, the resolution's so high. Such shadows.
Yep, the shadows are pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, there's pollen out here. I don't like it.
No, unfortunately we couldn't do anything about that. Also, we gave you your second COVID jab while you were in there, so hopefully you didn't feel any side effects during... I'm guessing that would have been Bethesda.
Oh God, would that be when everything got weird? Okay.
Yeah, that was when all the shaking probably started.
Okay. I'm not sure I can do with life on the outside.
Oh no, we've institutionalised you. Here's a rerun of 2016 C3.
Oh.
We'll have to keep monitoring this one, Doctor. Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Dale.
And I'm not Jane Eris Magnet. And welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers. It's a podcast. It's what we do when I'm not plugged into E3 for a week with no escape. There's no way out.
There is no way out.
I'm trapped in the E3 mines.
We were trapped in the E3
mining for video game news.
Mining for video game news.
Subjecting myself to trailers like my eyes had been pried open and I was forced to watch them.
Tasty.
Tasty trailers. How are you doing this week?
My holidays ended.
Oh no, real life has returned.
Back to the full-on 76-hour weeks.
Oops.
Rather than just the nice 40-hour weeks I had during my time off. I got some things done. Last night managed to get a whole episode of Polyarmory out.
Ooh.
That's already available for people who subscribe.
Wow.
I mean, for anyone who's listening to this now who doesn't give me £10 a month on Patreon, it's also already up, but that's not the point.
Time travel is weird.
Time travel.
We're recording this on the Wednesday morning because I was still in E3 purgatory on Tuesday night, which is when
and
we
I
usually
sent
record.
You to bed because you looked like you were going to die.
I streamed 80 hours this month, which is considerably more than I usually do. I basically doubled my monthly streaming time in a week. It was a lot.
And still did all the other things.
It's like 25 hours? No, 80 hours. There we go. Oh, that's nearly tripling. Or about tripling. I did too many things.
Busy times.
Yeah. Should we talk about video games we played?
Let's talk about video games, because you haven't just had 80 hours of talking about video games.
I mean, I've had a lot of hours watching video games, surprisingly few playing.
Yeah, I suspect that Played is going to be a much shorter episode than the episode this week.
We did try and play that Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC, and getting that installed was a nightmare of a time.
Installing the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, so we had the disc on the PS4 disc in the PS5, we had to put that in, install the full 90 gig game, make space for it, then download the PS5 update, which was another 90 gigs that had to be downloaded while the disc was in, then delete the PS4 version, then download the DLC update, and also have the PS5 downstairs to upload the save data so that the PS5 could download it.
PS4 downstairs.
PS4...
Yes.
Yeah, it was not an easy process.
It was basically a day of watching the loading screen and hearing that slightly ethereal, slightly sinister music.
It was like, we've got like 5 hours before the E3 conferences. We'll have time to play this.
Just pop this on. Fuck no.
No. So I didn't get to play that, but we'll probably have played it, or at least some of it, by the time we do the next episode of this. One thing I did get to play that was Final Fantasy related, though, was the demo for Final Fantasy Origin, which is a game being made by Square Enix, Koei Tecmo, the Dynasty Warriors people,
Oh, heck.
and Team Ninja, who make like flashy character action games. They
Oh.
made the terrible Metroid Other M, was them. Mechanically very good, but occasionally a bit not the best with women sometimes. But all of them have come together to create, the way it was pitched when it leaked a little bit before E3 was, Final Fantasy Dark Souls. Final Fantasy 1 remade as a Dark Souls game, and I think that's a fair way to describe it, although for people who struggle with the difficulty of a Dark Souls, this is a Dark Souls with difficulty modes. I know, right? No losing your level up experience when you die.
Oh, wow.
And nice and more frequent checkpointing.
Ooh.
But mechanically, it's still a very difficult, do tough combat, make your way through kind of game, but just with some...
Stamina-based combat.
Well, sort of.
Okay.
So, attacking and dodging don't take any kind of stamina.
Right.
The only thing that takes stamina is blocking. And you have multiple different kinds of blocks you can use. So there
Does
is...
rolling count in that?
No, you can roll for free.
Okay.
So you've got a physical block,
Right.
which is you use your weapon to block. It blocks 100% of physical damage taken, but if the attack that you're being hit with has any kind of magical component, that will still do chip damage to you.
Okay.
Physical blocking takes up less of your stamina bar than the other kind we're going to talk about in a minute. You also have something called the Soul Shield, which is basically kind of like a magic parry. You can't, hold it up to block, but if you do it at the time that an attack is hitting, both the physical and magic components of the attack will do no damage, you'll get an opening to do a counter-attack, and you'll get a slightly bigger magic gauge. So, that is the better one to do, but it takes more stamina to do, it's more sort of precise on the timing. Basically, those are your two defensive options. You've got multiple classes, like in a Final Fantasy game, and you can have two of them loaded up at any time, and with a press of the triangle button in real time hop between them. So you'd be like, oh, I'll have Warrior and Black Mage selected, so I can be like, I'm doing my big two sword hit attacks. Then I'll dodge backwards, back away, swap to Mage, start throwing some spells out. It's a really fun combat system. You've got your light, fast attacks like you do in Dark Souls mapped to R1. R2 is specials, and that varies depending on your class. For your big warrior, it is do a big charged up hit that takes longer but does a lot more damage. For your mage, it is your spell casting button. It uses up your magic meter to do magic. I like that it is never possible to be stuck without the ability to do magic as a mage, because if you hold down the casting button, it will slowly recharge your MP. But you won't be able to dodge at the same time, you won't be able to... Basically, you're a little more vulnerable, but you can build your magic back up so that you can cast more spells. Or it'll recharge when you do, melee attacks with your little knife you've got as the mage. There is a really good variety of playstyles supported. There is a really good variety of equipment that you can get that changes your appearance. The gear you have equipped varies depending on which build you're using. So if you've got, say, the warrior and the mage set to swap between, you can have your warrior armor that's good for being a warrior that's got high physical defense because you're going to be in there quite close. And then you've got okay, I swapped to mage, it automatically swaps you to your mage armor you've set up that has maybe better magic defense because you're going to be backing away. And it sort of swaps those with a single button press, which is really nice. It is a really mechanically nice Souls game. It is one of the better attempts at making a Souls game I have seen. Which shouldn't be surprising. It's made by the team who made Neo, which is one of the better Soulsy games out there. The main thing I will warn people is it is very aesthetically dark. It is very sort of just not very colourful at all.
Oh, okay.
Not very not very colourful. Everything's a bit grim and drab, and it's a little overly angsty.
Ooh.
The protagonists are, and maybe this will be different in the full game, but
the
in
early
this,
noughties.
in this demo, the protagonist trio have no personalities other than we are grim teenage, grim boys, grim lads. What that you sort of expect them to walk into a cutscene wearing like My Chemical Romance shirts, but also with big swords. It's that energy that they're constantly talking about having to defeat chaos in the sort of terms that, like, oh, what's that terrible fanfiction, My Immortal?
Oh my!
They sound a little bit like the male equivalent of trying to write My Immortal as a fanfiction. Like they're a bit cheesily written teenage angst bullshit, but I don't really care because they're fun to play. You have 2 other party members. You don't seem to be able to, in this demo, command them to do things. They sort of act on their own and they're a bit useless. I do wonder if this game is meant to be a co-op game. Like, if it's going to have co-op support for other people to play your other party members. Because right now, the party members are kind of useless. Anytime they got knocked down, I was like, do I want to use one of my very few healing items to revive them? Or do I just let them be dead and save that for me? Because I'm going to have a much better chance here if I just don't bother bringing them back.
Fuck them, I win.
Yeah, I'm going to get much more done if I use that healing item, so stay down, friend. But yeah, it's a really fun fight. It's Final Fantasy Dark Souls, and like the trailer shown off during E3 was kind of crap, but the game itself is really fun.
Well done.
Yeah, they did not sell this game well with the demo, but having played it, I'm really into it.
Oh.
What about you? What have you played this week?
I've played one game this week. That's all I've had time for.
What was the game?
It's my During Dilation game. I've been playing Torchlight 3 because it's on Game Pass, and I played the first 2. Don't remember anything about what happened in the first 2. I remember enjoying Torchlight 2 enough that I completed it and immediately went for a new Game Plus.
Ooh.
And then about 2 chapters in went, I'm bored now, bye. And never thought about it again. There's a couple of times where I've been like, I wouldn't mind trying the original Diablo, which I had on PS1 and just didn't get.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm giving money to Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
So like, Torchlight 3 is available as an option. I'll have a look at that. And if the plot of this is anything, or my absorption of the plot of this is anything like the plot of the first 2, I can understand why I don't know anything about the first 2. Don't remember. Not really taking any of it in. Don't really care. It's fine.
I'm here for flashy lights and click on things to kill.
Click on hordes of things to kill and get better weapons and make flashier and have more poison spiders that I can
basically
summon.
play an MMO without having to deal with other people.
Yeah,
It's basically a single player MMO.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked what was the Re-Reckoning?
Oh,
Kingdoms of Amalur.
yes.
Why I like the original Kingdoms of Amalur. I've not played the Re-Reckoning version. I love the I get to do all the bare asses and go and talk to people and do things, and that there's too many quests to do, so I just pick and choose what I want and actually roleplay as opposed to going, I must do everything. Because I think, I could be wrong, I think that one had you're over leveled to do this quest, so you can't do it.
Yeah.
Which was quite nice. It's like, okay, I can just pick and choose and do things that way. As opposed to what I usually do is one must 100%. So yeah, anything like that where I can kind of MMO without having to talk to other human beings.
Yeah.
Because I've tried to get into World of Warcraft as well, and that's nope.
Yeah.
Lovely scenery. I like the scenery. I'm enjoying the style of graphics. I do not wish to be shouted at by a 12-year-old, or be told I must engage in combat, or am I a real girl? You're a female avatar. There's no real girls on the internet. You're not going to meet them acting like that, dickhead. Yeah, what about you? You played other things.
I started playing one demo that I want to get back to. I need to make more time for it. I will probably play more of it today. I started playing the demo for Tunic, which is adorable little fox with a sword going on a Zelda adventure. It's basically top-down Zelda game, but with a dodge roll, so that the combat can be a little more difficult. It is very fun, very adorable, very charming. Little challenging, but not like ridiculously so far. I want to put more time into that demo, but there is like a new demo that came out during E3, and I'm having fun with it. I want to put more time into it. The thing I've put a bit more time into this week is I started playing a game on Switch called Umarangi Generation. So all I knew about this game going in was it was a sort of PS1 visuals cyberpunky game about photography. And I will say up front, tutorial pretty fucking shit. Like, it does not do a good job of explaining to you what the mechanics of the game are and how the game works and what you can do and what you should be doing.
Oops.
But basically, it starts off pretty light on plot. You are dropped into little sandbox environments. You're given a little list of things to try and photograph in a single photo, and it might be like, okay, photograph 7 birds, and it's like, okay, I can see 7 birds, but where can I find a position where I can get all of them in one shot? It might ask you to find a word written somewhere, and you'll have to look, like, zoom in with your camera and be like, does that say that? No, that says something different. Find the thing to take photos of. It is a neat little game that, as you go further into it, sure seems to have some plot happening. Yeah. So, like, you know, and you start off, you're like, oh, this is a good game about, like, you know, photography with, like, the ability to change your focal length and your exposures and a lot of good camera controls. This is very good. Oh, suddenly I'm learning about, I'm assuming New Zealand or some kind of small island nation, completely walled off from the world after maybe an alien invasion of parasites has ended up there, and exploring the world through the lens of some bored teens shut off from the world and feeling a bit depressed about the possibility of the world continuing. Feeling that whole, oh god, where is life going malaise. Dealing with topics like military occupation and colonialization.
Ooh, sounds light-hearted stuff then.
Yeah. It's like one minute you're like, I'm just taking some photos with some friends on the roof. I wonder what those walls over there are about. Oops, that's a military base we're gonna go hang out near and
a hostile occupying force.
Yeah, oh gosh. It feels like an interesting game to play at the tail end of a pandemic when we've been sort of locked down and life has felt very small. But also, if you are the kind of person who sometimes ruminates about, oh god, how much longer does this planet have left if humanity keeps being like this?
Week or so?
I think probably. So, yeah, I really recommend Umarangi Generation. I don't want to say much more else about it, but just like, it's a weird, interesting little game. Push through its poorly explained tutorial and have fun. Have an interesting, fascinating time. What about you? You playing anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, well then. Time for this.
The summer's here. The sun is beating down. It's times like this when a body can get more warm than is comfortable. Especially in the last 18 months when perhaps you've had a chance to get a body that is more comfortable. Hi, I'm here to tell you about the natural antiperspirant for underboobs, thighs, and just anywhere that might be a bit overlappy and just unpleasant. We even do a little strip that runs right down your spine to stop just all of that nastiness. When you know how it gets when the water it's right in the back of your spine, and that's no fun for anyone. Putting on weight can be pretty punishing, so why not enjoy the summer with a natural antiperspirant? It's an antiperspirant for everyone. Feel the dryness.
You live in the UK?
I do.
You suddenly finding that your house that's mainly designed to keep as much warmth in as possible is almost unbearable?
I'm living in an oven. It's a heat trap.
That's right. Well, try the latest new technology, the Nikki House.
What does it do?
Well, in winter it wraps up nice and warm, keeps you all good and safe, but in summer it peels away that layer, takes away the winter wardrobe, and gets Nicky. It lets all the fresh air through. This entirely removable layer means that your house can be full of fresh air and nice, cooling breezes. The roof is entirely mirrored, meaning that none of the heat can get right down into the house, so you'll be cool all day long. Nikki House. It's the easiest way to keep as much heat off as possible.
So, what have you put in your eyes? Your poor, slightly hay fevery eyes.
E3.
That have been filled with E3.
E3 is all that has been in my eyes. I need to look up what I saw at E3. I don't remember what I saw at E3. I've been
It's all
watching.
got blocked out now.
Best games of E3. What were the cool things that were at E3? I don't remember.
Nothing.
Oh, Metroid Dread exists and is real, and that's a game that I remember reading about in magazines when I was 11 as, like, the cool new next Metroid game that's coming, and it's going to be really cool and very exciting. And, like, look, I don't know how much of that game is still the game that I was advertised when I was 11, but my inner 11-year-old went, oh my god, it's that thing with the very angsty-sounding name I was very excited about, like, nearly 20 years ago. And I got very excited about that.
See, I haven't been particularly excited about it. I don't know, there's something about the graphics that is just not working for me.
I really like the visual style of it. It looks real nice.
But I think my favourite thing about it so far has been watching Arlo's reaction to it.
Yes.
The Nintendo I am dead and Nintendo
Yeah.
killed me video. It's
I
just
mean-
so pure.
Yeah. I think the people who had the sort of response that I had and that Arlo had is very much rooted in Metroid Dread is one of those projects where, like, Metroid Fusion is a fantastic game. It is a wonderful game. It is one of the best 2D Metroid games ever made. It is, I would argue, probably the best one ever made. And this was, like, just after that game came out, they were like, we're making a sequel, and we're making the next one. It was sort of pitched very much like Majora's Mask for the Metroid series. It was we're going to take this in a, like, slightly spookier, scarier, weirder kind of direction. And it was part of a leak back in, like, 2004 of a bunch of... Well,
Did Nintendo do the Nintendo thing of going, oh, it's leaked, well, fuck you?
not this time. But, like, it was part of a leak that I believe IGN put out that, like, every game on that leak came out within 18 months, except for Metroid Dread. And from what I understand from some little bits of interview discussion on Nintendo Treehouse yesterday, it's not that they cancelled and were like, fuck this. They've tried to make this game, like, 3 different times, and every time it just hasn't come together to the quality level they've wanted it to, and they've reshelved the project. The reason it's finally happening is a couple of years ago at E3, a small external team was brought on by Nintendo to try and make a 3DS remake of Metroid 2, and Nintendo was so happy with the exceptional quality of that port. They were like, we love what you've done with this. We love the new mechanics you've brought to it. We love how you captured the feel and the tone and how you've modernized it. Can you try and make Metroid Dread for us? Here's the game we've wanted to make for 20 years. How would you go about it? And apparently Nintendo straight away was like, you're doing the thing.
You get it.
You're doing the thing that we've tried and failed for 20 years to do. Please make this game for us. And the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS was fantastic. It was really great. I'm feeling very positive about this. It seems like it's going to have a few more things taken from Alien Isolation, perhaps, in that you're going to have some persistent stalking enemies that you have ways of avoiding their detection, but they are a persistent, very deadly threat stalking the facility you're in.
A nemesis, if you will.
Yeah, you got a little bit of nemesis-y stuff going on, and you might have to be like, okay, that particular multiple different nemesis. You might be like, okay, that's the one where I have to stay like deadly still and quiet. This is the one where I have to be invisible when it comes past, and like different things you've got to have different ways of avoiding. I'm real intrigued by it, and I'm
Ooh.
excited. Also, Breath of the Wild 2 got a trailer, and I have so many questions having watched that trailer. Time, a lot of the new powers seem to be to do with time travel, and that leads to plot-related questions.
Mm.
There's lots of like, I can make that boulder roll back uphill and hit things, or I can... It's either an anti-gravity power, or maybe you're undoing a fall you did to fly upwards.
But also being water?
Yeah, there's like a water droplet going backwards out of a puddle, which is why I think it's time manipulation, maybe.
Okay.
And Link's got weird symbols all over his arm, and
Is that the arm that was holding down Ganon? Or is that one of Ganon's arms?
It looks an awful lot like it, and also it seems like different equipable arms might be a thing.
Oh, okay.
Link has an arm that shoots fire at one point, it looks like. Also, there's two very distinctly different Link models used in this trailer, and people are theorizing, are there two Links? Is this two Links from different time
You're
periods?
gonna have another timeline split.
It seems like maybe there is long-haired, not tied back, weird arm, different, like, magical weird arm Link, and looks a lot more like Breath of the Wild Link. Also, there's a lot of stuff with floating platforms in the air, but also in some of the gameplay shots on the ground where Link has the Breath of the Wild hairstyle, there are clear shots of the sky and no floating platforms. So maybe two time periods, maybe?
Could be.
It's... Apparently Nintendo knows the name of this, but they won't talk about it yet because it will tell you what the game is about, and it's like, you're hiding something, Nintendo.
Is it Breath of Fresh Air?
Go outside, that's the new Breath of the Wild.
Sky.
Yeah, you saw this trailer.
I saw this.
Did you have any thoughts on it?
I was hoping it would be more underground.
Yeah, I've seen theories that one thing they're hiding is that, because we keep seeing shots of Zelda falling underground, is that there may be underground sections that Zelda plays. And that it may be you've got Sky Link, Ground Link, and Underground Zelda as your three things going on.
I just hope we get some proper sized dungeons.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Really?
I want a dungeon. Give me a dungeon. Give me a Zelda dungeon.
The thing that makes me unsure about what we've seen so far from this is that, like, one thing I and a lot of other people have been saying that they wanted from a Breath of the Wild sequel or any future Zeldas was, can we please get back to big chunky dungeons again?
Yeah.
Like, I get that with the Divine Beast, it was like, hey, we want to make it look like it would fit inside the Divine Beast.
I agree with you. I don't like the Divine Beasts as dungeons. I want proper Zelda dungeons.
I think they're brilliant, and I think they're cool and intricate, but I want something a bit more gritty.
I don't want them to be the only kind of Zelda dungeons we ever get again.
Yes.
So next month Skyward Sword comes out on Switch. That is a game of chunky dungeons. It is a game where essentially the entire game is chunky dungeons. There is no, even the overworld bits where you're not in a dungeon, that's just more chunky dungeon happening right there.
I remember starting it, and I had it for a while, and I think I started it twice. The thing that got me the first time was I did the thing where I put it down, walked away one day, and then just forgot.
Yeah.
And the second time was, I can't deal with being told what a green rupee is every time I turn this fucking game back on.
I would imagine that's not going to be the case this time, and you'll have me here to be like, hey, we should play Skyward Sword some more. I think this will be the time we'll get you through it. We'll get you through this one.
Do it.
Also, they showed off Forza Horizon 5 gameplay, and I really like the Forza Horizon games.
It looks shiny.
Yeah, it's just put nice music on and drive a car around a very shiny place. You can make it pretty arcadey if you don't like sim games, of just like, draw a line on the road where I should go to not crash, and let me rewind if I fuck up, and let me do the very fast car very fast.
Will there be new Lego levels?
They have not confirmed, but I cross my fingers because those Lego levels are great.
I haven't played Forza Horizon 4, but it's like, I saw Lego levels, that was fun.
The Lego levels are very good.
Yeah.
There's a trailer for Elden Ring. That sure looks like a Dark Souls.
Wasn't that the point?
Yeah, it's made by the Dark Souls people. It sure looks like a Dark Souls. You can ride a horse this time. George R.R. Martin apparently did something. You wrote some words,
He
maybe.
wrote some words, not the ones people are really hoping for, but
No, never going to finish writing those fucking books. But he's got time to write a Dark Souls.
I understand it. Like, you write this huge fantasy campaign for your D&D group, and then you've got to finish it, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, what if I just do something else?
Yeah.
Square Enix showed off a single player, no microtransactions, no any of that, just single player Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, that looked pretty
It
cool.
looked really fun. It's got the sense of humour in it seemed real fun.
I like that they didn't go with the movie versions of the characters.
Yep, it's got some good use of licensed music, and it seems like
Yeah, fuck streaming that game.
yeah. It's got a style meter for how well you're doing in combat, and it seems like the better you do in combat, the more it kicks in 70s and 80s rock and pop. And I'm like, oh, I'm here for that. What else was shown off? There's a new WarioWare game.
There is.
It's got
I've never played a WarioWare game, but I'm told they're pretty fun.
They're silly, ridiculous fun, and this one seems to have multiplayer, and I'm very excited about
I'm
that.
very up for co-streaming multiplayer.
I'm very up for that.
WarioWare.
That seems like a fun, silly time.
People in chat seem to think that was a fun idea, so
Yeah.
very up for that.
There's a cool looking point and click adventure game called Harold Halibut. And I would recommend people go check out the trailer. It's got a fascinating visual style in that they've physically crafted all of the environments and models out of like claymation and physical craft materials for the environments, scanned them into a computer and then hooked them up to motion capture. So they've got this slightly uncanny, it's somewhere between traditional stop motion and full motion frame rate on the characters. It's a really interesting visual look that I can't do justice without saying just go look up the trailer. It looks really interesting. I'm always a fan of games that look visually distinct. Was there anything you saw at E3 that looked good to you?
Not really.
That's fair.
Wasn't super fascinated by anything like.
So there's a couple more that I found that looked good. Mainly a lot of stuff from the Wholesome Direct, because as always they had real cute little stuff. There's a game called Loddlenaut, where it's a little indie game about you going around under the ocean, clearing up pollution and trash and making the ocean healthy and safe and nice.
I remember seeing that. It looked adorable.
Yeah. A Little to the Left is a game about like just neatening things up and lining things up and having things organised and neatly organised, and that's very, very appealing to me. There's also OFK, which seems very much in the vein of something like Sayonara Wild Hearts. It is a very queer music-based narrative told over like a couple of hours at most. There was a virtual performance by them at the Game Awards last year that all of the virtual characters were wearing black Trans Lives Matter shirts, and that was like, oh, I'll pay attention to you. What do you want about? That looks real cute. Spirit Swap continues to look very cute. Ollie Ollie World is a very cute, cel-shaded skateboarding game that looks like it's going to be real easy to just get into a nice flow with. That was a lot of good stuff. Go watch the Wholesome Direct. There was a lot of really cute looking stuff in there. Unpacking, just a game about unpacking boxes and moving someone into a home and working out where to put things. That looks very good for organisationally brain. I saw too many video games, but those are the ones I remember off the top of my head.
Yay!
Yeah. What about you? You see anything?
I watched all of the Devolver conferences and then I watched the new one. Sorry, I watched all of the old ones twice and then I watched the new one.
Yeah. That new one sure was something.
Alright.
I
didn't have quite the spectacle of some of the other ones, but it did make me want a chili dog.
I will say this about this one. I feel like they had perhaps escalated their last narrative maybe as far as they could, and I feel like having somewhat of a reset so that they can build up again is maybe not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, and I think I would like to watch that video again, like, slowed down, because there is definitely some background elements.
Yes, I have watched it a couple of times since already, and There is a lot that I missed upon first viewing.
Yeah, it's definitely like, what is going on in that room with all the, like, warning tape over it?
Yes. The more I rewatch this, the more I'm like, okay, it's maybe not as much of a paring back of the narrative as it seems, and there is a lot of room for this to ramp up very intensely, very quickly in future years.
I mean, it was fun as well. Like, some of the long shots in that, especially where you've got, like, moving between people and someone
Yes.
juggling in the background, or one-handed juggling in the background. Like, yeah, that was a difficult shot to set up. So from a cinematography point of view, I'm still very impressed.
Yep, I very much enjoyed the quality of that one shot with the multiple explosions, which they clearly didn't have a chance to retake, and they nailed it on the first go.
Yeah.
And the punchline they ended it on was wonderful.
Mhm.
It was beautiful. It was very good.
Mm-hmm. Also, what a shitty dog.
Yes, it was a very different year this year, but I think they made it work.
I'm guessing more of them have been jabbed since last year.
I
Last year there was
yeah.
like very few people on set. They were all very spaced out.
Yes.
And obviously, like in the wind down of that, we got a lot of people in masks standing far apart doing thumbs up. But like even that led to some quite interesting cinematography. Like the shot you
Yeah.
were talking about that you really liked of is it Lydia?
Yeah,
Linda?
Lydia, where she's got her head turned to the side and she's taking up almost half the shot with her face.
Yeah, she's sort of screaming into the camera, and there's someone sort of standing sort of behind her and to the right.
Yeah,
It's
that
like-
is. Oh,
It's a good shot.
It's such a good shot.
hmm That's about it. Really. I did watch another thing. I
Yeah.
watched your titties.
What?
I watched your titties.
My titties?
What is this emblazoned across you? You're wearing a Queer and Pleasant Strangers t-shirt.
Yes, I am.
It just says Queer and Pleasant on it.
Yeah, queer and pleasant titties. Where could someone get one of these if they wanted queer and pleasant titties?
Janiac.redbubble.com. It's available, one specifically with dark lettering to wear on light t-shirts, and one with light lettering to wear on dark t-shirts. It's available on fucking everything, but I'm very happy with the badges. I think the badges look really good.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm very happy with how that turned out. This is the problem with printing t-shirts designed on the internet. You never know quite what they're going to look like when they're finished.
This one looks very good.
Like the first generation wealth inequality solutions one, is like super happy with that turned out, but
Yeah.
I've amended it since. But yeah, I'm very happy that came out first time straight away. Also, that I could find the Queer and Pleasant Strangers font because I had apparently lost my original download of it.
Other things I watched a lot of bad E3 conferences. Everyone has an E3 conference this year, and not everyone needs an E3 conference.
Nope.
There was the 6-hour-long Indie Expo stream.
That started wrapping round on itself.
Yeah, it was a lot. I watched about 4 hours of it before I exploded. The problem is that it was a Japanese stream that was being real-time translated into English, but they at first didn't turn down the Japanese audio stream, so you had Japanese and English at the same volume talking over each other.
It was
Which
a bit of a struggle.
Was a sensory fucking nightmare. Then it became apparent that the English translators were not doing a terribly effective job of translating in real time, and were like paraphrasing on their own and making a lot of like
Misunderstanding games.
yeah. At some point someone was like, "Oh, Return of the Obra Dinn. That's like Cluedo, right?"
I mean, there is a murder mystery.
A lack of basic understanding of some very well-known indie games.
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of indie games. It's fair enough to like not know all of them.
No, but
also
it's... Yeah, when you're hosting an indie stream, like, there's certain titles where it's like, oh, you should... You really don't know the industry you're talking about, huh?
yeah.
Also, it was fucking exhausting when they would do, like, here's 50 games in 2 minutes, and just fucking go.
I don't know what I've seen, and my eyes are now bleeding.
Yeah, not enough time to process anything. The descriptions they were giving of games were terrible. I was just Googling the names of games and reading the Steam descriptions and being able to provide better explanations of these games than the people on
Why
stream.
did they not have that information available?
I don't know. It was a palaver. It was a whole thing. Coke Media did a stream that was largely very dull, very boring interviews with people who didn't have games ready to talk about yet.
Oops.
PC Gamer Show, I mean, it's only 90 minutes this time, which is something, and it was better paced, but it still had really fucking dull interviews that we ended up just muting and ad-libbing over. That was fun.
Well, that was when you were starting to really wear down from all the E3. There was a real sense of, I'm fucking done with this shit.
My patience wore thin about the third time that I got shown a trailer in a different conference for both Chernobylite and Jurassic World Evolution 2. Really lost my patience when back to back with the PC Gamer Show was the Future Games Show, run by the same company that ran the same 2 trailers for Chernobylite and fucking Jurassic World Evolution 2. I was like, not everyone needs a... Oh, yeah. So last year there was a game developer on the PC Gamer Show whose trailer they forgot to play, and they had to play it at the end of the live stream after the credits, after everyone had already left. They really fucked this developer over. Their game, Gloomwood, looks really interesting. It's like a little PS1 visual era. Bloodborne looks really fucking cool. So, this person gets a slot, and they cut him short, and they stop him talking when his interesting looking game is on screen, so Gabe Newell can go, yeah, I come back on Wednesday for Steam. Bye! And it's like, just let me see this fucking game. It looks really cool. Let me see the cool game.
But now it's a gimmick.
No.
We spent a year on this.com, wasn't it? Something like that.
I know that the developer was in on it, but as a viewer, no, fuck off. You didn't have to show me fucking 2 Point Campus and Chernobylite and Jurassic Park again. You didn't have to show me those 3. You could have shown me a trailer for fucking Gloomwood. You had one. Let me see Gloomwood, please.
We saw 2 Point Campus.
Yeah, that looks cool. I didn't need to see 6 or 7 different the same trailer for it 6 or 7 times over 4 days.
I only saw it once, and I was like, I guess. I think I'm less interested in the idea of like a college campus than the 2 Point Hospital. Like, if they want to do a 2 Point, 2 Point World theme park type thing,
oh yeah,
I would be very up for them to do that. But I think I'm just generally less interested in the whole idea of running a student campus. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that team will make it fun as fuck.
Yeah,
because they're very talented.
As someone who never went to university, I have no interest in a university campus simulator.
Maybe that's it.
And maybe that's why I care less about this than a hospital. Honestly, that's all I've watched. It's just been all of the E3s. All of the E3s. There were other cool things I saw. I will probably remember them in the coming days, but right now all I remember is the mind-melting soup that is E3. Video game!
I watched a lot less of it than you, and I was still disappointed.
Video game! Video games! Video games! Video games!
Oh no. Well
Video
then.
blames.
Well then.
Time for Blidio blames.
Time for Blidio blames. Hello, we got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, do you want to make sure that your online self is kept secure?
I do.
Safe,
yeah,
protect.
That is important to me.
Well, you know, the safest way to stay strong and correct. Apparently, I forgot how to say words.
Oh, wow. Well, if only there was a service that could help with that, but that's not what we're doing today.
No, try Passforce.
Oh, is this one of these passwordy doodads?
They will generate a password that is almost infinitely long,
Okay.
impossible to physically remember by a human brain,
Okay, yeah.
and they will store that on a little app on your phone, and it's cross-platform, so you can have it on as many...
Okay.
You basically, you pay for the service, and it's everywhere, so you don't have to... You know, some of these services like, well, it works on your mobile, but you're going to have to buy another license if you want to use it on your PC. Fuck you. No, this one carries everywhere with you.
I am mildly concerned, though. What if I want to stop paying for the service? What will I don't know any of my passwords.
Well, you'll be advised to change all your passwords at the time that you close it down. They have a whole really nice thing where they'll help you detach from them as easy as possible. Like, hey, you don't want to use our service anymore? Totally understand. If you want to be less secure, totally understand.
Oh,
That's not a
no.
problem.
Oh no!
We'll help you pick like password 123 as your password.
Oh no!
Or your cat's name and your date of birth.
Oh no!
and that will help you get your
Okay, I'll
passwords that
just
you
keep
remember.
paying them, okay?
Hey, you don't have to. There are other services available. But just remember what life was like in the old times.
Oh.
Or that one word you fixated on when you were about 17, and it's always that followed by some numbers. We know how passwords work.
We know how passwords work.
So yeah, that's passforce.lol.net, and enter the code QandPS171, and you can get a whole 35% off on your first annual subscription.
Oh god, I forgot the password that lets me get into the app with all my passwords on.
Yeah, and you're gonna need that password to get into your email to recover it. Oh. Well, I guess the old Laura has been completely lost. Digital Laura is gone now. Bye. Locked
I'm
away.
starting a new life.
Inside the boardroom of Electronic Actor Softworks.
Hi.
Hi.
So, E3. It's
Yeah.
happening, it's been happening, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It happens every year. I hope you don't mind. I had a bit of a strategy this year, and I sort of just ran with it. I didn't bring it to the boardroom first. I want to run it past you. Hope this is all right.
Right.
So we need people to know about our games, right?
Yep.
We need people to positively think about our games.
Yep.
So the great way to do that: get our trailer played in an E3 press conference.
Mhm.
So I thought, what better than that? How better to get the word out there? I thought, saturation. Get people to just see the thing enough times that they just inherently know it and can never forget it.
Right. Okay.
So-
So it's like subliminal, but very overt.
Yeah, like
You're really
like,
drilling it into
not
their
not
heads.
subliminal, like superliminal. We did superliminal advertising.
Right.
So I got our advert played in literally every conference.
Right. Only once.
Oh, every single conference we did get it played twice in the PC gaming show.
Nice.
Because we got them to make a little skit about it, be like, "Oh, we accidentally played the wrong thing twice. Oh, what's that?
Uh
Oh,
oh.
what a shame." I thought, that's a way to start getting super saturation. But I had more plans. I also ran interviews with myself after every time the trailer played. Same interview, me being wonderful, telling them how good the game is in a very sincere manner.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know a lot about games. We work in the industry, right?
I mean,
So,
I know that the game sells.
selling
and-
is important.
I mean, I think I sound sincere when I say I would like you to buy the game because that would make us money.
I mean, that is the most sincere thing I've ever heard you say.
Exactly. So, I've not gone on and checked the internet yet, but I feel like we aced this E3.
You are a fucking genius.
I know. I will, however, check the. Oh, fuck! I did great. Don't look.
So, what have you put in your ears?
Not a lot, other than like E3.
The sounds of E3.
The sounds of E3, the sounds of we're waiting for a conference to start music, lots and lots of world exclusive, lots of that in my ears. I think I listened to like one song that was pretty interesting this week. It's a track called "The Man with the Skeleton Arms"
You got skeleton arms.
by 2K, TOU space KAY. It is a fast-paced acoustic guitar narrative ballad about a skeletal revenge tale. I'm going to summarize the story here. Some people in the Wild West start a fire for fun, and oops, it spreads, and that's bad, is bad. They go out and check the aftermath, and there is a man in the fire, and they're like, oh shit, better help him. They try and help him up, and they accidentally take all the skin off of his arms. Now he's the man with the skeleton arms, and he wants to do the same to them, but in reverse, as revenge. He wants to remove all of their skin except for the arms. So now, oh no, there's a man he means to do us harm. He's the man with the skeleton arms.
Yep. That sure is a track we listened to.
That sure is a track. I had a very fun time listening to this bizarre storytelling nonsense.
Oh, well, you know.
It was catchy. I found myself this morning being like, The man who needs to do his harm. He's the man with the skeleton arm.
It's got that real Western music. I mean, music from Western, not music from the West.
Yes. Music from, like, a Western film this could fit in the background
Yeah.
of. A song about the terrible
Mandalorian, I
the
guess.
terrible new person who's rolled into town on his horse, except he's got skeleton arms and he's here for revenge.
Yeah, and that real slightly gallopy beat in a few places.
Yeah, it's a fun.
Yeah.
It is fun if you like story told through music.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What have you listened to this week?
I've listened to a lot of Glitch Hop. Defunct Banjo Buse original mix, Protostar and Draper Chrysalis, Audio Weapon Rewind, Avenza Molten MA remix, free release, yay! K9, that's Kaynein, a track called 2K15 that's got lots of random Vine samples in the background. KV9 Las Vegas, Mind Invaders Genesis, Protostar and Mandoril, Ruxa, STFU and Quince, Subset, and I think, listen to some melodic dubstep as well, Nitrix and Fluidity, Exclusion remix. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much my list of tracks. Go listen to them if you want some glitch hop and apparently some melodic dubstep.
Yeah.
Have you listened to anything else?
No, it's just E3.
I caught up on some podcasts. I caught up with some podquisitions. I think it was about 2 behind.
I did listen to the Sayonara Wild Heart soundtrack when I was walking back from getting my second vaccine jab on the other day. I was walking home in the sunshine and it was just upbeat, very gay music to walk home to. And you sent me a bit of music to listen to that day.
Yeah, was that Metric International?
Yeah,
I think it's called International.
It's a good upbeat bit of I'm outside in the sun music.
Internationally wide world all over.
Yeah. I also listened to a bit of the Empty Bowl because I needed something that wasn't the video game industry that I didn't really need to pay attention to, that could just
Soothing breakfast sound.
play softly in my ears. I listened to someone very calmly talk about the merits of a square cereal bowl.
A squirrel bowl.
Yeah, or having cereal in like one of those serving dishes where it's much wider but flatter, and what that does to the ability to have a consistent level of crunch versus sog on your cereal.
No.
Rather than like, the stuff at the top is a lot crunchier and the stuff at the bottom is a lot soggier.
I like it that way though. It means that you get this perfect layer in the middle, and as you go through, more of the stuff in the top can fall down without going too soggy too quickly.
Well, see, that is an argument that was also made on the episode, but for some they prefer just like
I guess it depends what cereal you're eating.
Exactly.
If you've got like a Captain Crunch, you need to be soggying that as soon as possible.
Yeah. So I listened to some people ramble on about cereal because that's the only new information I could bring myself to consume that wasn't video games.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything I've listened to.
Well then.
Time for this.
Hi, welcome to the Positivity phone line. Could I get your opinion on trans people?
I think trans people are great and worthy of respect and should be able to self-ID and not be made scapegoats.
I think that's because ultimately you're a good person and you deserve good things, and I hope that you're having a good day.
Yeah.
And, if it's okay if you're struggling a bit, getting back into the world as things are now and opening up, and don't worry, good things will happen to you because you're a good person and you deserve nice things. I hope that, your skin is looking good and clear today. I hope that the air you breathe is fresh and clear. I hope that you live in a healthy and happy society.
That's lovely. That's just what I needed to hear today. Thank you, phone
You're
line.
good and you deserve that.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, phone line. Hello. Yes, just before we start, if I could get your opinion on trans people, please.
Oh, rapists.
Okay, well, I'm going to need you to fuck all the way off. Thank you for calling.
Wait.
Hello, Nice Things phone line.
Hi.
Can I, just before we start, just get your opinion on trans people, please?
Oh, I think they're lovely.
Oh, that's because I think you're lovely.
Oh.
You're a good person. Your hair is looking amazing right now, and I just
just hope the sun shines on you, but in a nice way, not too hot. I hope that you have like a nice gentle breeze, and that everything just works out for you. And maybe treat yourself to a little muffin.
Oh,
Just a nice little muffin.
thank you,
Phone
Phone Line. That's just what I needed
That's
to hear.
okay. I hope your day is full of joy and sprinkles. Nice things, Phone Line. For nice things, for nice people. But if you're a cunt, you can fuck off. What's going on?
Oh, hey!
What's going on?
Hey, don't worry,
Everything, alert.
don't
Alert.
panic. Hey, immune system.
Hello.
I know it's been a while.
It's been a while.
You've had a very quiet year.
It's been lovely. There were masks and hand washing and staying away from people and things.
Yeah, and staying inside with all the windows shut. That was, so...
Don't let the corona in.
Yeah, so we're going back outside. It's okay, we've been having the injections for the corona. It's not going to get us.
I didn't like those initially, but we've got used to it now.
We got used to them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one thing we do seem to be having trouble with still, and I need to talk you through,
Yeah.
is pollen.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's attacking. The trees are attacking.
It harmlessly is existing everywhere around us.
No, it's not harmless. It's attacking. Personal offence to my bodiness.
No, it's
I must keep you safe.
It's just the plants. It's okay. I can live with a little bit of tree in me.
No,
it's okay.
you can't. It's danger forever. What if a tree grows out of you? Didn't you hear about swallowing apple pips? This could be like that. You could have you could have a beech tree growing out of your eye.
That's not
Or
how...
a dandelion growing out of your nose.
That's not how this works.
You don't know that.
I do. There are millions of people all around the world who breathe in pollen every day.
Some of them have dandelion eyes.
None of them have dandelion.
They might have dandelion eyes and you don't know. Some plants are very good at disguising things. There's a plant that smells like a dead body. Do you want to smell like a dead body? That could be coming out of growing between your toes.
Look.
I mean, your feet do smell a bit. That could be the corpse plant growing between your toes.
Nothing is. Look, we've lived all of our lives perfectly fine. We have. Remember those
Only
tablets?
because I'm on high alert.
No. Remember those tablets we take that make you calm down a bit?
Little bit.
Yeah.
Only for the afternoon. But
Yeah.
by evening, I'll be back.
Yeah, well, remember last year we did all right.
Flush the eyes.
I know you've not been used to it for a while,
Flush
but
the
it's not gonna hurt you. It's all okay.
Flush the eyes, protect from the dandelion.
Look, if it helps you think about it this way, you're taking part in a plant orgy. It's just a fun little plant orgy. Orgies are fun, right?
Flush the eyes! Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Social justice warriors.
Social justice warriors?
Yeah.
Alright, Larry.
Alright, Barry. How you doing?
A bit warm, mate.
Yes.
You alright?
Yeah, same. Bit humid, bit overwarmed. It's getting there.
Yeah, I heard you had your second jab, mate.
Had my second jab. I'm counting down the weeks now. It's coming up soon.
Not far behind you, mate. I've just been told that due to a recent update on the British guidelines that actually I can move my second jab forward by 3 weeks.
Oh,
So,
wait, you're going to be what, like a couple of weeks behind me, maybe?
yeah, I think middle of July. I think I'll be ready for that fucking
Oh,
hug, mate.
lovely. We are, oh, God. Within a month or so, we're going to be able, oh, that would suit me so good.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
My body is ready.
I'm ready as well.
Well, almost. My body is slowly preparing.
It's getting as ready as it can be.
Yeah, mate, definitely. You you've been up to much?
I've been thinking about on that topic of bodies being ready. Yeah, I've been thinking about going back outside. Yeah, going outside again, and everything that entails. I've been thinking about my body and how that's changed during lockdown.
Yeah.
Been a lot of not being so active, and food and drink being things to do inside, which has not been great for me.
Yeah, it's been a lot of comfort eating and not a lot of exercise.
Exactly. When you can't go you can't go swimming, can't do roller skating, can't go, and the thing that's on hand is food is a nice treat for me while I have to spend a year inside. Not great for the body.
Not great for the body.
Not great for the body, and. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the body I have. It may not be where I want it to be, but it's also like I'm not upset about it. But it got me thinking about
about size, and particularly about the importance of people not fat shaming each other, just generally, but also how that's going to be a particularly present topic probably as we start getting out of lockdown. I think.
Yeah, well, as we start getting out of lockdown, as you say, and I think as a lot of businesses are starting to return to their normal offices, I think that is probably going to see more of a thing.
There's going to be a lot of people who haven't seen people they know very well, haven't seen them in over a year, and suddenly see them again, and their bodies might have changed a bit.
Yeah,
and I think generally speaking, don't fat shame. Let people have the bodies they have.
absolutely.
What you can see from someone's exterior tells you nothing about the. It doesn't tell you how they eat. Doesn't tell you their level of exercise. It does not tell you their overall health.
Or how strokeable they are.
Exactly.
Consent.
Exactly. Fuck those people who are like, I don't care that you're fat. It's because you're unhealthy. It's like you don't know what someone's actual level of health is.
Admittedly, my case, not great either way.
But they can't tell that from the fat though.
Exactly. I think the prime example that a lot of people will look to is someone like Lizzo, who fucking belts out tunes for several hours, dancing
around
away,
on stage, sprinting around,
around like, fuck me. I don't think most of you could dance in heels while singing, for that length of time.
Yeah, she's a great example of someone can be very energetic and exercisey, and and
have a larger frame.
Exactly. So particularly for look, we're all gonna see each other post-pandemic, and we're all gonna know. We're all gonna see each other and go, oh yeah, that's the pandemic. Wait, just don't fucking bring it up. Everyone knows it. We all know it. Just let it be. We got through a very traumatic year, and if a lot of us did so by not exercising very much and eating more than we probably should, we got through it.
Probably best not to mention it. I don't. It's a shame that we don't live in a society where we can't sort of celebrate that.
Exactly.
It's been a long time since I hugged you, and here you are, softer and more cuddly, and I'm very, very.
I'm enjoying the extra cuddle cushion.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that. There is a softness and strokeability that I enjoy. It's good.
Exactly.
Well done.
Yeah. Well, if you want to enjoy those aspects when we get to finally have that hug again, I will not judge you for enjoying the additional softness I put on my
additional
hug.
softness, good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's one thing you could say about the fact that I have put on weight. I've been like, but it is nice to squidge a bit.
I mean, I imagine
I'm
you are going to be
soft.
very good to hug.
I'm very soft. I like that about myself, and you can celebrate that, and I'm very much looking forward to in the coming months, once we can get free, to getting out and doing more exercise. But I don't think that's necessarily going to change my eating habits much, because it's one of the few things I really enjoy.
Exactly. As I've always said, I would rather put on some weight that I don't ideally want, and be able to just not stress about food, than to get that weight gone, but to be constantly feeling like I'm having to watch food. Food is a source of joy for me, and fuck it, if I put a bit of weight on in order to be able to enjoy food guilt free, fuck it. We only get one life. I would rather put a bit of weight on and have more fun with food.
Well, exactly. The planet might completely burn. We might run out of oxygen. Who knows what billionaires will do to us in the next 10 years. Might as well try and enjoy just a little bit of life while we've got it.
I think it's a worthwhile trade-off to, get to have that bit of good, rich, decadent chocolate cake, even if, got a bit of an overlap going on my stomach. But you know what?
Pastries.
I can live with a bit of a tum. I can do with risking being mistaken for pregnant.
I was very happily mistaken for pregnant just the other day, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. This is my food, baby.
Yeah.
First luck, mate.
First luck. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go and have a cold shower, mate, because it's already very sticky.
Exactly.
Not even 1 o'clock.
Counting down the weeks till that physical hug, though.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Soon.
So, Laura,
Yes.
where can we find you on the internet?
Laura K. Buzz everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon. That's the one that pays the bills. I Twitch stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Now that E3 is out of the way and I have a normal schedule again. You can find me every Friday on YouTube, uploading episodes of Accessibility, which is a series of accessibility and representation in the games industry. I got books. The big one is Gender Euphoria. That's out now. It's about non-cis people telling their real-life positive gender-affirming stories. Jane's in it. I'm in it. Lots of other people are in it. All the reviews have been real positive. It's a good book. You should check it out. There's also podcasts. Pixel Squirt. That's about video game porn. But I was going to say Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Which you're listening to
Yeah,
now.
Podquisition. We tell you whether your favourite video games are great or perfect. Dice Funk. It's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can jump into whichever season you like. They're all their own little stories. I'm also on another show with you that isn't this one, Jane.
That's Polyarmor. It's a D&D 5th edition real play podcast with questionable morals. A new episode went up yesterday at the time. If you're listening to this on Sunday, when it goes up publicly, it's available. It was available yesterday for everyone who's early access as well. So there you go. Yesterday applies. Words, brain. Mysterious things are happening. You've left the city of Steam, and you're heading northwards. And oh no, something has happened. I love how dramatic this next mini arc got.
A lot happens.
A lot happened. I had a lot of fun being just the most fucked up DM ever.
Being a gremlin.
I was a gremlin.
Every DM gets one arc where they get to be a gremlin.
Just an absolute gremlin. What's this? Oh, everything's gone wrong. Yay! But no one's dead. That's the important thing.
As long
No
as we
spoilers.
survive to tell the tale.
Will you? Find out soon. All of my links can be found at streamerlinks.com/Janiac. That's JANEIAC. My important ones are that it's got there. We've got a Facebook group. We've got a YouTube channel. I've got 2 SoundClouds. One for my bedroom programmer music. There are 2 new tracks that went up last week.
Yeah.
You can listen to them. I had a lot of fun making those. One of them is a sort of ambient, and the other one is a bit more like housey, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of house
They're
music.
both good. They're both real good.
I've decided to stop trying to force myself into genres and going, I can't write in this and now I'm sad, and just making music and hoping for the best. Does this sound good? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, go for it. We've got new t-shirts, as I said. There is a quick link over there on my streamer links, but it's also janiac.redbubble.com if you want to get any of those. Stone Monkey Radio on Patreon, that's the one that pays my bills. As I've mentioned earlier, $10 a month Patreons get early access to Queer and Pleasant Strangers and Polyamory, and any other podcasts I happen to edit that I think of. I think that's pretty much everything, Laura. Will you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.